All right, let's jump right in. If you're an engineer or you work in operations, the whole idea of handing over a critical control system to an AI, well, it probably sounds a little terrifying, right? You are definitely not alone. There's so much chatter about AI taking over, but today we're going to flip that conversation completely on its head. You know, this might sound like a joke, but it actually gets to a really deep truth in the industry right now. It hits on the skepticism that I'm sure a lot of you feel. And honestly, that skepticism is a good thing. It's healthy. It's actually the perfect starting point for doing this the right way. So this really gets to the heart of the dilemma, doesn't it? It's the core conflict that pretty much every operator is wrestling with. On one side, you've got this immense pressure to innovate, to optimize. But on the other, the risks, well, they feel just as massive. Let's break down what's really at stake here. What's so fascinating here is the tension you can just feel. The data is clear. AI can bring real, measurable gains. But that fear is just as real. You're likely asking yourself, okay, but what happens when this thing makes a catastrophic mistake? What does that mean for my job, for my team's safety? This is the exact dilemma we're going to tackle today. So let's talk about why those fears are completely 100% justified. Because giving an AI full, unchecked control, that's just a recipe for disaster. The fundamental problem is something we call the black box problem. We just don't always know how an AI gets to its conclusions. And that lack of transparency, that is a huge, huge risk. This should really make you pause. Only 42% of companies using AI are actually supervising its decisions. Think about that. That means the majority are just letting these systems run, often without a human safety net. And, well, here's the result of that reality. Only about 14% of data center operators would actually trust an AI with full autonomous control. This is what we call the trust gap. And believe me, it exists for some very, very good reasons. So, what does this all mean? Look, AI is an incredible tool, but it is not perfect. It can literally hallucinate information that is just plain wrong. It has no way of understanding the unique context of your plant, and it completely lacks the common sense that comes from years of experience. And that last question on the screen is the big one. When there's no human validator, who's accountable? Accountability just dissolves. Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now for the good part, the solution. And this isn't about throwing AI out the window. It's about using it smartly. The real turning point is a concept that puts you, the engineer, right back in the driver's seat. It's called the human-in-the-loop approach. This right here is the key. Human-in-the-loop, or HITL for short, isn't about slowing things down. It's all about staying in control. It means you design the system so that AI does the number crunching and makes suggestions, but a human, you, gives the final green light. You get all the benefits of the AI's analytical power without ever sacrificing safety or your own expertise. Seriously, if you remember just one thing from this entire explainer, make it this. This is the new mantra for safe, effective AI. The AI does the heavy lifting, the deep data analysis, and then presents it to you so you can make the final informed call. This simple principle, it changes absolutely everything. I love this analogy because it just clicks. Your AI is like a brilliant, super fast junior analyst. It can process unbelievable amounts of data. It knows how to use all the fancy tools. But it still needs your guidance. It needs your years of experience and your real-world understanding to make the right decisions. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put this whole philosophy into practice? Because it's not just a nice idea. It's a concrete framework you can use to build a system that you can actually trust. Think of these 5 steps as your safety net, your guardrails. You start slow with the AI in advisory mode, where it's only making recommendations. You build workflows where absolutely nothing happens without your explicit approval. You give it read-only access so it can't change a thing on its own. You log everything so there's always an audit trail. And maybe most important, you have a manual override, a big AI off switch, so you can take back full control in an instant. And hey, this isn't just theory. Just look at Google. They used this exact human-in-the-loop model to manage the cooling systems in their massive data centers. The AI made recommendations, but the human operators were always in control, always able to override it. And the result? A whopping 30% reduction in energy usage, all done safely because the human experts remained the ultimate authority. This brings us to what I think is the most important point of our whole conversation. This new model doesn't make engineers obsolete, not even close. It actually makes your skills more valuable, more critical than ever before. This is all about shifting your role, not eliminating it. So let's just ask the question head on. With a tool this powerful buzzing in the background, what is it that you bring to the table that an algorithm simply never, ever can? This. This is your value. An AI can optimize for one variable, sure, but it has zero contextual judgment. It lacks real-world common sense, it can't provide the ethical oversight needed in complex situations, and it certainly can't take responsibility when things go wrong. These aren't just soft skills. In a high-stakes environment, they are the most critical skills of all. So look, your future is not a competition against AI. It's about becoming the person who manages the AI. You are the expert who trains it, who provides the crucial feedback it needs to get better, and who makes sure it operates safely and effectively in your world. You are the indispensable human in the loop. By leaning into this role, you shift from just being a user of a system to being the master of a powerful new tool. So if you want to keep exploring how to master the tools that are shaping our future, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer. Thanks for watching.